If I could be known for one message, just one message that I could spread throughout the world that people would associate with me, it would be this. You already know it's in the title. You are not lazy. You have ADHD. I have done therapy for folks with ADHD, and I started to notice that people that would come to see me for ADHD would often feel lazy. They would have this concern about not being productive enough, getting enough things done, comparing themselves to others around them, feeling like they let themselves down, their loved ones down, because what they chalk up to laziness, myself included. Before I knew that I had ADHD, I mistook task paralysis as laziness, and I tried to make up for it in all the wrong ways. So I'm just gonna run through a few common things that I've heard people say over the years, myself included, and I'm curious to see if you relate to any of these. You're sitting in a library, it's quiet, everyone around you is focusing hard at work, and you're thinking to yourself, what the heck? Everyone around here seems to be getting stuff done. Why can't I be like that? Why can't I get myself to focus? What is wrong with me? I must be so lazy. I guess I'll just pretend to study, just sit here and scribble in my notes. There are so many things to do today. I promised myself that I would get all of these things done, that today would be the day I would wake up and I would make myself a healthy breakfast. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna start that laundry. I'm gonna start writing my novel that I've been telling everyone that I'm going to do. But yet here I am. It's 4 in the afternoon and all I've done is scrolled on TikTok for the last 2 hours and I cannot stop. What is wrong with me? Oh my gosh, I told myself I'd start that essay and it's due tomorrow and I haven't started and it's midnight and now I'm just gonna have to get it all done throughout the night. I need to get an energy drink and get it done. Why didn't I start this sooner? I always do this. Listen, our collective neurodivergent brains, we have all been there and it's okay. This is especially true if you're dealing with the inattentive subtype of ADHD. That's not laziness. I promise you it's not. If you were truly being lazy, truly if you were in your core being lazy, you would be choosing it. You would be enjoying it. You would be loving scrolling through social media and looking at the millionth cat TikTok that you've seen, but you are not loving it. You are sitting there and you are feeling anxiety building. You're feeling restlessness. You're feeling stuck in this weird state. You cannot get yourself out of it. I know because I experienced that too. You're not alone. We have a term for that and it's probably pretty familiar to you. It is called ADHD paralysis. It's not technically paralysis. It is an experience that you have internally. Cleveland Medical states ADHD paralysis is not a medical diagnosis, but is the term that people with ADHD often use to describe moments in which they feel insurmountably stuck and derailed by everything going on. It's not a true paralysis, but it can feel like getting stuck in a task or activity, feeling stuck in moments of indecision and not knowing where to start, being drawn to distractions, or this brain fog and this inability to direct your focus. By this point, I hope that we've all collectively agreed to remove the term laziness from your vocab. Okay, we are not doing that. We're not describing ourselves as lazy. Now let's talk about what it actually is. ADHD paralysis. Let's talk about why it happens and what we can do about it. There's a few different reasons for why ADHD paralysis can happen to you. The first one is fight, flight, or freeze. You know, that classic stress response. Either you're going to fly away, right? You're going to fight it out, or you're going to freeze up. Can you guess which one of those things is ADHD paralysis? If you guessed freeze, you're correct. Good job. Number 2 is lower levels of dopamine. So we know that this is a huge part of ADHD, is having smaller amounts of dopamine in our brains and seeking dopamine out. So oftentimes when you're stuck in that paralysis, you genuinely don't have that dopamine good feels in your brain. And that is your starter. That revs your engine. So if you don't have that, you're just kind of suspended, just hanging out, waiting for something to help. The third reason that ADHD paralysis can happen is just too many choices, too many options. Now, I know for me, a lot of the times when ADHD paralysis happens, it is when I'm in between tasks. Maybe I'm just about to get started. I have a long to-do list and the to-do list is daunting and I don't know where to start. I'll say to myself, you know what? I'm just gonna take a little break. I'm just gonna scroll on TikTok for a few minutes and then you continue to scroll and then you just get stuck. You don't know where to start, so you don't start. anything. You distract yourself. And the last reason for why ADHD paralysis can happen is we're not good with time estimation. We're not good with time in general. You've probably heard this in the past, but it's like with ADHD, our time is now and not now. So we'll think, okay, I'll just spend 5 minutes scrolling. All of a sudden you look up and you realize an hour has passed. And what happens then? You feel shame and guilt and you're flooded, and you might even do this thing where you're like, well, the whole day is shot. I'll start again tomorrow. Is that all or nothing thinking? I see you. I know. I've been there. Just to review those aspects again, they are fight, flight, or freeze. It's a stress response. Having lower levels of dopamine and avoiding a task that might be mundane. Number 3, too many choices. Feeling task paralysis because you don't know where to start. And number 4, being really, really bad with time estimation. So we have successfully removed laziness from a vocab term. We have identified that it's actually ADHD task paralysis. We have discussed the reasons why task paralysis can happen. Let's get to what can we do about it. If you look up articles, which maybe you have, if you're watching this video, thanks for watching, but also you probably have done your fair share of research into ADHD for yourself or for your loved ones. But if you look up any articles, they're all going to say the same things. They're going to say movement, exercise, make sure you're working out, get those endorphins in your brain. They're also going to say to do things that you enjoy, because dopamine is from joy and from what lights us up. So do things you love. They're going to say, write things down. Make sure that you have a planner. Are you using your planner? They are fantastic tools, but they all have one thing in common, and that is they're all preventative. They're all for avoiding ADHD paralysis in the future. If you are anything like me, it's all fine and good to have preventative measures, but working out isn't going to help you in the moment when you're stuck on TikTok for the 2nd hour in a row and you can't get out of it. So here's my proposed list of things that you can do in the moment, right now, right away, to snap yourself out of it. Number 1, and this is a big one. Hear me out. Number 1, and you're already doing it. The good news is you're already here, and that's understanding what is happening to you. Demystifying the laziness from your mind. When you understand what's happening to you, you're going to be more accepting of it and more accepting of yourself. And at the core of everything that I talk about is getting to a place where you know and love and accept who you are, so that you can grow and change the things you want to, but not make yourself feel so full of shame and guilt for the things that are harder for you or out of your control. You know what is happening. You can say it to yourself. It doesn't even have to be a big deal. It can be, there's that old ADHD paralysis again. I know what's happening here. That's okay. It's okay. Not, I'm so effing lazy. Why didn't I get started hours ago? Forget it. I've found that knowledge really helps reduce that all or nothing thinking. It makes you kinder to yourself. And that's all I want for all of you, is to just be kind to yourself, because it's okay. The second one is starting small. Just have a small win and we're going to celebrate it, okay? And that could be as simple as, I'm just going to get up and I'm going to drink a glass of water. This works especially well if you're in kind of this indecision mode, and that's why you're feeling paralysis, because you have too many things and you don't know where to start. We're just going to start small. We're just going to get up and get water, and then we're going to celebrate that water. We're going to celebrate that we got up and we drank water, which I know for many of you is probably your first water of the day. Eat a piece of chocolate. Pat yourself on the back. Go outside and smell some roses or something. Celebrate it. There's something that's really interesting that happens in our brain when we start celebrating these small, manageable goals. We start trusting ourselves and knowing that we can complete those goals. Even though on paper, it sounds ridiculous when you are knee-deep in homework assignments or work assignments and stuck on the couch, scrolling through social media, avoiding every task possible, to celebrate getting up to drink a glass of water. But I promise you, it will help you. It will help your brain. It will help you build trust in yourself, knowing that you can. So get up, get that water, pet that cat, and celebrate that you did it, because you got off the couch. You took the first step, and that is insurmountably hard. So good job. The third step is to create a sense of urgency. Now, this can happen multiple ways, but that's one of the ways that we kickstart our brain, is to create that sense of urgency. So that could be, maybe you message a friend and you say, I need you to call me in 5 minutes and tell me to get off my bed. We need friends like that. You could set a timer on your phone, get really loud and annoying. So when that timer goes off, you get up. We get nervous when we hear a timer. It kind of alerts our systems. Utilize that, capitalize off that, get off. My fourth tip, eventually your body will make you get up. You're gonna have to get up, and you're gonna have to go to the bathroom. When you do have to get up to go to the bathroom, do not sit back down. Do not go back to where you were. I don't even care if you were in your doom scrolling in your office chair. You are not going back to that office chair. You are going to work somewhere else, change your environment. Do not go right back into that. The final tip that I have for you is not really a tip at all, but it's just some love. And that's sometimes it's just okay to accept what is happening. You do not have to be productive all of the time. Your brain sometimes makes it hard for you to do things. That's okay. It is okay. You are okay. Remove the guilt. Everybody, every single person, whether they have ADHD or not, has down days. So this is one for you. I've been there. Everybody's been there. Be kind to yourself. Just because you have one off day or 2 off days or an hour of an off day does not mean that tomorrow is going to be that way or that the rest of the day is ruined. Remove that all or nothing thinking. Just accept that that happened, forgive yourself, and move on. So just to really quickly review those tips once again, because repetition helps things stick into our brain. Number 1, understand what is happening to you. Instead of saying you're lazy, we're going to replace that with, I am in an ADHD task paralysis. That's interesting. It helps you be kinder to yourself. Number 2, start small, have a small win. Say, I'm going to get up and get a glass of water. I'm going to take a sip of water, not even drink the whole glass, and then I'm going to celebrate that win, because celebrating those small wins helps you build confidence in your ability to follow through and get stuff done. Number 3, create a sense of urgency. Utilize your community. Tell somebody to call you in 5 minutes and yell at you to get up. Set a timer, an alarm, so that when it goes up and you have that jolt in your body of anxiety that we all get from timers, you get up. Number 4, wait for your body to tell you it's gotta go. Go to the bathroom and then do not sit back down. And number 5, just accept where you're at. It's okay. This is a part of who you are. And you know what? You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. So that's it. That is all of my tips for how to avoid ADHD task paralysis and effectively remove the concept of laziness from your brains. You're not lazy. You have ADHD, okay? Or suspected ADHD. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and just know that I am sending you so much love. Thank you.